Welcome back, Kings. Today, I have a very special thing I'd like to talk to you about, and something that I think we should all take advantage of. So let's get right into it. Recently, I've been getting very involved with my physical and mental health, as far as fighting and preparing myself for the career I want to go into, being a United States Air Force officer. And I really dove deep into these things, and I really don't have that much of a social life anymore, and I know it sounds bad, but I don't have that much fun anymore, really. I'm not gonna lie, I play video games sometimes, but the last time I played a video game was probably 2 months ago, two and a half months ago, and it's not because nothing's wrong. It's not because my gaming system is messed up or anything, or I have Wi-Fi now, but I didn't have Wi-Fi for 4 months, but I got Wi-Fi now. But it's and I was man, I can't wait till I get Wi-Fi. I'm gonna be able to play GTA again. But then I got Wi-Fi, and it's I haven't done it. And the weird thing is I haven't really consciously thought about doing it because I'm so focused on these things. My whole day is really centered around the two things I'm most passionate about, and that's aviation and fighting are the two things I'm most passionate about. And really my whole day is really just centered around those two things, because I train every day. Even if I don't go to the gym, I'm shadow boxing, I'm doing sprints, I'm doing cardio, I'm doing something, and I'm studying every day for my private pilot's license and things of that sort. And so really my entire day is just filled with activities pouring into my future. But what I've noticed is as I've kind of disappeared from the other areas in life where I was maybe popular, I don't do very many social things anymore. And I've noticed I'm not focused on girls as much as I used to. I know it's oh yeah, Sigma male, don't focus on girls, focus on yourself, king. And it can be a good thing, but it's strange to me. Cause I genuinely I haven't tried to get a girl to like me or talk to a girl, spend an extended time. Now I'll talk to a girl, and if I feel she doesn't like me or she hasn't texted me in a week, I'll just totally forget about her. There's this one woman I talk to on a pretty frequent basis, and she's a pretty attractive woman. I don't see her very much, but we talk pretty consistently. And in the past, talking to a woman like that, if they went, for an extended amount of time without talking to me, I would have been man, I might have double texted her a few times, but I wouldn't have continued to frequently talk to her. But it definitely would have been on my mind. I would have been man, what did I do? Did it what could I have done differently? Why is she not talking to me? But that happened. She hasn't texted me in a while. I texted her. I was like, hey, are you still alive? And she hasn't texted me back. And in all reality, it's probably because she got her phone taken away again. But I don't think about. The crazy thing is, and this is an attractive woman. This woman is a very high status woman. I genuinely do not think about this woman until I'm scrolling on my phone and I see our conversation and I see her name. That is genuinely the only time I think about this woman, unless I'm talking with my friends and that comes up, which is very strange, because if she's texting me, we talk every single day. But if she's not texting me and I'm not seeing her name, and she's not calling me, or she's not texting me and I'm not seeing, and we're not conversating, I'm not thinking about her. I'm proud of that. But I also feel where is this coming from? It's very strange to me, because I've really disappeared from the social world. So I've virtually disappeared from the social world. And I've gotten a lot of positive benefits out of this, right? A lot of good things I've become relatively skilled in jiu-jitsu. I've been working on my YouTube channel a bunch. I've been studying a bunch for my private pilot's license and things like that. And I've gotten a lot stronger. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm in the best shape I've ever been. And my brain and my relationship with Christ is stronger than it's ever been. So I've gotten a lot of good benefits out of kind of disappearing. But they're not all good. There have been some negative things. I've kind of turned into, I feel like a gremlin sometimes. I feel like a gym rat on steroids. Like, my whole life is centered around my future, and it's good to be focused on the future, because we want all our goals to be future goals. We want to have realistic goals. We want to have the biggest, most exceptional goals possible. We want to be ambitious, and delayed gratification, that's something that we should totally have mastered. But I'm going to read you something out of the book Atomic Habits that I've been reading by James Clear. Fantastic book. I'm almost done with it. It's a very fantastic book. Something that you guys should all read. Now, our ancestors were all in a immediate return environment, which means they weren't thinking about 10, 15 years from now. They were thinking about, I gotta eat or I'm gonna die today. I have to find shelter or I'm going to die today. I have to feed my family. I have to defend my family. I have to go fight. I have to kill the tiger. I have to slay my enemies or I'm gonna die today. They weren't thinking about delayed gratification because they had to have immediate gratification to survive. Delayed gratification, immediate gratification wasn't a bad thing until modern history. In the past, it was normal. That's how our brains were wired. You gotta kill the tiger so we can eat today. You gotta protect our children so they can survive today. Our ancestors lived in an immediate return environment, which means they're focused on the now, the present. Well, in today's times, we live in a delayed return environment, which means we're focused on, okay, I'm going to work out today, even though my muscles might not grow significantly from now, but a year from now, consistently working out, I'll be a lot bigger. I'll have several pounds of muscle built up, and I'll look really well. Meditating today, of course, you might get some immediate benefits, but you're not going to reach enlightenment meditating once, but those are that you will. You'll get more benefits the longer you do it. So it's like the foundation of self-improvement is founded on the delayed return philosophy. But I also feel like in some things it's good to be able to strive for the now. I've noticed when I try to okay, for instance, I'm gonna tell you a story. So relationships, attracting women, talking to women, it's a skill just like anything else, and you can get rusty over time. I promise you can get rusty, and it's a skill just like anything else. You have to develop it. You have to do it, and it can get rusty. And I admit I've kind of been rusty with my Riz game recently, but I'm not totally ashamed of it because I've traded it out for an amazing body, an amazing mind, and an amazing future. But there's this woman that I have been talking to. Different one from the one I was talking about. Very attractive woman. Very tall woman. She's 6 foot tall. I'm 6'6", so that was cool. Like, 6 foot tall woman. That's nice. Tall women are awesome. Unless you're a short dude, then it's the worst. But I was talking to this woman. We talked very a lot in the past. And, we talked every single day. She started the conversation. It was obvious that, she had some sort of feelings for me. And that was cool, and that was at a time when I was talking to a lot of different women, and that's probably when my Riz game was doing really well, and I was experimenting with a lot of different ways to talk to women. Well, at that time, the way I talked to women was a little different than it was now. I'm a little bit more chivalrous and stoic in the way I talk to women now. But then it was more kind of like I was a lot more flirtatious back then, 100%. I was a lot more, I wasn't like gross or like weird about it, I hope. I wasn't a creep, but I did show my intentions a lot more than I do now, if that makes sense. I was intentional with the way I represented myself. I was intentional with my time. And this particular woman, this was also a very high value woman. What I found is that game, the very flirtatious, you're progressing things very quickly. That works, but it doesn't work for the kind of woman you're going to want to stick around for, if that makes sense. It works short term, but the women you're going to attract are not going to be the women you're going to want to have children and start a family with, if you know what I'm saying. And so this woman was a very high value woman, and so I did that, and it's cool. And she talked to me for a while, but over time, as I kind of kept this attitude up of kind of more like intentional about making my interests known. I was a lot more bold. Bold is a very good way to say it. But and so I did that, and then she kind of stopped talking to me a little bit, because I think she was a little bit, she probably saw red flags in the way I was saying, which is unfortunate because the things I was doing in life were no different than the things I'm doing now, but the way I was talking definitely 100% probably portrayed that I wasn't maybe walking in a way that was good enough for that quote. And I think she's a woman and she knows her worth, and so that's probably another reason why she stopped talking to me. And it's unfortunate because we have a very similar lifestyle and we're both ambitious, but I just didn't know the appropriate way to talk to that caliber of woman, because let's be honest, boys, there's not a lot of women like that nowadays. A lot of the times, the only women, there's a very attractive woman, but they're all dumb and retarded, 90% of the time. I'm just going to say it. They're all just dumb, and they think they're better than everybody, and, they think the world revolves around them. And that's unfortunate because sometimes that's the only option we have when we're trying to get a woman's number, or we're trying to talk to women or get a girlfriend. It's unfortunate that there's not traditional woman nowadays, and she is a traditional woman, I think, is the issue, and I wasn't treating her like one. And so she stopped talking to me. But the thing that hurt the most is she stopped talking to me and she started talking to this other, and this is a woman that I was that's in my youth group, the church I go to, and she started talking to this guy, and I'm not saying bad things. I think this guy, he's a cool guy, he's a nice guy. I don't have anything against him. I don't have hatred toward this guy. I've talked to him several times. He's a cool guy. I mean, he's nice, but he has this charisma that makes me cringe. Like his charisma is so forced. It's so bad. It's so fake and forced. But let's be honest, nowadays it's better to have forced charisma than no charisma. I will give him that. But it was so forced and it was so weird. And it was so... And he does like the thing, like, I'm not... It's the I'm dumb personality. You know what I'm talking about? It's the I'm dumb. Oh, yeah, I'm so sick. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. It's the I'm dumb ideology. And it's I use this ideology a lot, like, like you'll say something funny and it makes people laugh, but people think you're a little bit less when you say it. They think you're funny, they're laughing, haha, you're such an idiot, haha, you're such an idiot, you're dumb. They're still laughing at you because it was funny, because you did something dumb. You know what I mean? So it's the kind of I'm dumb, and I did this a lot, and I kind of took it to an extreme when I was younger, and so a lot of people, they still think I'm dumb. I have a lot of people, and they think I'm less of a man than I really am, and it's really unfortunate. And don't ever make yourself less than what you actually are, especially with the way that you talk to people and you communicate people. Don't ever make yourself seem less than you actually are, because the negative effects are blatant, to be honest. But he has the same ideology, and this guy, he probably weighs 40 pounds less than I do. He's not she's taller than him. I'm like 80-90% sure. And he's got like his hair is all, he dresses nice. I'll give him that. But I really don't see the the transition from me to him. I didn't really understand how that made sense really logically. Like with if you have a brain, okay, this guy, okay, I'm gonna go to this one. Like, I didn't understand how that transition was logical. You know what I mean? And it's nothing against him. I was just genuinely like what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, for real? Him? Like, that guy? Okay, whatever. And but then I realized something, and I think it's very good for us all to realize this and to reflect on it. Women don't work the same way that we do. Because the thing I just described to you, going from here to here, that's not going to happen with us men, because our attractiveness is based off of looks. Looks primarily, the other stuff comes after looks, but first and foremost, we're attracted to looks, period. No other way about it. Women aren't the same way, and I knew that, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time, and I feel like that's something that we have to constantly remind ourselves of. She chose him because he treated her differently than I did. He had a more, even though he had a very forced, stingy, charismatic feature, he treated her as the kind of woman that she was, I think. Even though he put himself down and he makes himself look like an idiot, I know it sounds like I know it sounds like I'm talking bad about him, and maybe I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm really not trying to talk down on the guy. He's really an okay guy. I'm not like, I don't hate him. I know I'm a little bit bitter about it, understandably, but he treated her like the woman she was. I think is how that transition happened. I think that's what happened, and so learn from this, kings, and so. I know I've gone down a really deep rabbit hole, but the thing that I'm trying to get down to, holy crap, that was a bad rabbit hole. Wow, that one lasted for a while. Jeez, but I could have, and so he started talking to her. She started talking to him, and she's like, I'm like, okay, she's not talking to me. He's talking to her, like, okay, I'm going to fix this. Like, and I could have fixed it. I could have 100%, I know I could have, got her back, you could say. That sounds weird saying it, but I was uninterested in doing that. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to get home, I'm going to text her, and I'd get home and be like, I don't feel like it. I can't explain to you the weirdness and like the strange feeling it is to rather meditate and do sprints than talk to women. I'm at that point, and it's really strange. And I know a lot of you might not believe me, but I'm getting to the point where I'm genuinely uninterested in talking to women, and it's really weird. It really is, and I don't know that I like it all too much, But I've just gotten so deep into this self-improvement rabbit hole. I've gotten so deep into jiu-jitsu and I've gotten so deep into aviation that nothing else matters to me right now besides this YouTube channel. Like, I've gone so deep. I've gone Goggins mode with my life. And no sacrifice, no victory. I mean, I've done the woman game. I've attracted more women than I can count. I've had more women than I can count tell me that they like me. A lot of them to my face. But when you dedicate your life to self-improvement and you dedicate your life to your purpose and you stop focusing all your and you stop rounding all your ambition and all your goals around attracting women, and you start thinking for yourself and thinking about your future and the things you want to do and getting totally obsessed about healthy things, I think this is eventually what happens. And I think this is why the dating issue has become so bad today, because men aren't focused on their purpose anymore. They're focused on women and sex. And I think that's why our ancestors, they weren't really a good majority of our ancestors, like, they really didn't have really any action with women until it was time to get married. They're like, okay, I guess this is the next step, because they were present-minded. You know, they were like, okay, I gotta get food, I gotta work so my family doesn't die. They weren't worrying about, okay, I'm gonna get a girlfriend so we can go freaking make out on the back of the bus and at the school. They were thinking about trying to eat, trying to live, trying to survive. They weren't thinking about women until it was time for that, until it was time to get married and have family and reproduce. They weren't thinking about all these things. And so I think I've gotten to a point that I'm very proud of, but there's this weird feeling of like something's wrong with me almost. I've gone too deep almost, I feel like. And really, I've disappeared is what I've done, I think. I've disappeared from my social life. I've disappeared from really just all the people that I really cared about. And I don't care about those people any less. I still love all my old friends. I just don't spend that much time with them anymore. I don't waste time. My time is the most valuable asset that I have. Like, I'm going to a dance tomorrow, and this particular dance that I'm going to was like the highlight of my year last year and the year before. Highlight of my year. Like, I go to this dance, like, I'd go to this dance and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna pull women, I'm gonna get their numbers, or it's gonna be cool. It was like me and my boys, like, it was like the thing, alright, we're gonna go to the dance, we're gonna pull some women, it's gonna be cool. And we did that with several women, and it was fun. But I look at those calendars over there, and I'm not looking at the 15th of December thinking, oh man, I can't wait to get to that dance. Genuinely, I looked at the 15th, and I thought, man, I gotta get good rest that night, because the day after I have a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I have to be well rested. That's the point I've gotten to. Is that not, like, crazy? Like, I never thought I've got to that point of, like, I'm putting jiu-jitsu over women. Like, what? Like, boom. That's crazy to me. But it's happened. And so I think every man has to go through a period of disappearance. They have to disappear from society. They have to disappear from all their friends. They have to disappear from the women. And they have to just be totally 100% focused on the Lord and themselves and their future. And so, don't worry about becoming unattracted to the idea of pulling women, because that's very far ahead in the future. It may happen, but the benefits that I've gotten to disappearing 100%, without a shadow of the doubt, overwhelm the negatives. And so I will tell you this, brother. It is time to disappear. And it's time to disappear now. And stay hard.